YouTube, it's your boy FPLK man, and I'm back here with a brand new video. Today I've got for you my Game Week 26 team review, as well as my Game Week 27 team selections. We're also going to be looking at the best captaincy for Game Week 27, as the options are quite open, considering the fact that there's quite a few premium assets who have good fixtures. So without further ado, let's dive in. So there you have it, another green arrow. Oh my Lord have mercy. Your boy is in the top 1k, inside the top 1k actually, rank 500 in the world. This is dreamland right now, boys. This is uncharted territory. I've never been this high rank, I have to admit. Like, honestly, one of the best seasons I've had. So alhamdulillah, thank God for this great success. You always gotta be grateful. So just to get into it, another 100-point club, 3 game weeks in a row now, 3 centuries, 100, 100, 100, 100. So you love to see that. I mean, it's been a green arrows and glory. So first and foremost, Glasner, the system managership, I had to chase. I was already down on the Moyes owners, and I had to make sure that the assistant managership, which is one of the most powerful chip, was utilized to its utmost. And I did end up going for a table bonus, and boy does it feel good with Glasner. He was the highest scoring assistant manager with 20 points. They beat Fulham 2-0. Should have been 3-0. One of Mateta's goal got ruled up for offside. But ultimately, really, really pleased with Glasner. I mean, my goodness, like, this feels really good, like, finally. So and then you got obviously the defense with Raya, Hoyson, Gabriel, Trent. Trent did get away with a return, which I didn't expect versus City. I expected clean sheet from Gabriel and Raya, but they're the one that blanked. This does tell you ultimately football is not played on paper and it's played on grass, and what you expect, it might not be the case. And I got the complete opposite outcome, whereas I expected Arsenal to get a clean sheet, but they ended up obviously losing to West Ham. Again, Potter, those who went there, I also recommended him. All the best to you. I mean, you deserve those 19 points as well. And obviously, Trent got a clean sheet versus City, which I did not expect. Really happy with that. Hoyson, unfortunately, Bournemouth did get an early red card, and they were down to 10 man. I think Zabani got a red card, so that doesn't really count. And then Cunha ended up scoring. But look, ultimately, he's 4.4 million. I don't expect much from him, although I'm disappointed in Bournemouth considering they didn't keep any clean sheets in the last 2 games. And then moving into obviously midfield, you got Salah, captain, 28 points. You can't go wrong with him. If you watch my video, I did recommend 2 key things last week, which was pick Glasner, which was the highest scoring assistant manager, and captain Salah, as I thought he was the best captain. And ultimately, both of these things came true. So if you did follow those 2 advice, you did end up getting, I guess, nice green arrow, considering how other players in your team did obviously perform. So make sure to continue to follow my channel for more tips, as well as make sure to smash the like button. Really do appreciate that. And keep in mind, guys, I'm not gonna get these things right every week, but when you do get some of these things right, sometimes you gotta highlight it. So yeah, much appreciated. And be more 14-pointer. Those who went there, I mean, brave enough to go against Salah. I mean, kudos to you. Salah did end up matching that, which is kind of is a bummer. But ultimately, you did back against the grain, and you didn't get rewarded. But at least it shows that you're playing your own game. So happy with Mbemo. Cliver, disappointed, but again, Bournemouth were down to 10 man. Couldn't expect much from them. Changes the game completely. Palmer, biggest disappointment, and those who have sold him seems to be now rewarded because they might have won to other assets and they're delivering, and Palmer has just been continuing to disappoint. I'm going to look to keep him for the next 2 games, and if he's not delivering, I might look to sell him. But let's see what happens. He's got less than Southampton coming up, but it's been really disappointing so far. And then up front, it's just been returns after returns after returns. These strikers are returning week in, week out. Mateta, Wood, Isak, love this front 3. I wouldn't swap him for anything else. I don't know what else to do. I mean, obviously there's Cunha and other, like Marmoush, like there's so many other good strikers, but I'm really happy with my front 3. So overall, 101 points. Can't complain too much. Another green arrow inside top 1k. Alhamdulillah. Now let's move on to game week 27 transfer plans. So for game week 27, your boy already made a transfer. As you guys know, we do have a midweek deadline in Tuesday. So basically tomorrow, I'm recording this video on Monday evening. So I ultimately bought in Jared Bowen because I had exact amount of funds from move to Ahmad to Bowen, and I didn't want to delay that move. And obviously the deadline was obviously close by, so I just went early and catch the price drop because Ahmad was going down. Really happy to buy him. I mean, he did return versus Arsenal, and this season I think he's got 13 returns already, and his XGG, XAA maybe not the best, but I feel like he's a talisman I'm buying from West Ham. Would not been the best of the form, but still under new manager, they gained some results. And I feel like 7.3 million, I had enough money. I could get a talisman. It's worth it. Is he going to return every single week? No. but it is a really good entry point to target Leicester at home. And then obviously I can decide whether to play him versus Newcastle because it is a bit of a tough fixture, but they're also not great defensively. But I'm looking at the likes of Everton, Wolves. These are fixtures where he can get a return. And obviously, come game week 31, Bournemouth, so I have an option to play him or not. Or I could even, if I'm wall cutting, then maybe I'll take him out. But for the short term, for the next 4 weeks, he does look really good. And I'm happy with that. And his numbers, as I said, not the best, but still on the eye test, he does pass for me. And I would recommend you, if you were to look for any, I guess, midfielder this week, from Rogers to Ahmad, I would recommend Bowen as my number one option. I mean, you could also go to Kudus, but I prefer Bowen because obviously Paqueta is out now. He's also on pens. So I'm getting a 90 minutes asset, talisman, pen, set pieces. What could go wrong? I feel like there is at least 2 to 3 returns in the next 4. So let's hope for the best. And Ahmad, he had to go. He was injured. So yeah, I only had one transfer and I already made the move. Now let's look at my game week 27 team selection. So this is how I'm lining up with Raya, Gabriel, Nico Williams, and Trent. I know you're going to look at my bench and think, why do I have Nico Williams starting versus Arsenal? They're not the same Arsenal without Saka, Havertz, and Martinelli. They have no attack. They're playing, basically practically young kids in the likes of Inori, who's really good, but he's still really young and needs to develop more. I just feel like they have no strikers right now. Marino's playing up top. He's not really a striker. Am I expecting anything from Arsenal in terms of attack? Not really. So I do fancy Nico Williams, and Forest is a great defense. They're at home as well. And they did get battered by Newcastle, which I'm aware. But I feel like they're going to tighten up defensively, come at home. And with Raya and Gabriel, I feel like they're a good defense too. So I'm more looking at a cagey game and hopefully it's a 0-0 for best case scenario. And that'll give me three clean sheets. But worst case scenario, at least, one of this team keeps it clean, I hope. And with Trent, I mean, he's so consistent. His ceiling is really high. In the reverse fixture, he got 2 assists off the bench versus Newcastle away. So he's at home, potential for early sub, maybe around 60 minutes, which could bank a clean sheet, as well as getting an attack in return. So his ceiling is high. I'll be always playing him. And then you got in midfield, Salah, Palmer, Standard, and Mbeumo and Kluivert. And last but not least, Bowen, which is the new addition to my team. Leicester at home, potential captaincy shout, as well as Palmer with Southampton at home. And of course, Mr. Consistent Salah, the king, Mo Salah, Santa Salah, whoever you want to call him. The guy has been in insane form. I think he's only 20 points off breaking his all-time total FPL point score. That guy's ridiculous, like insane. Currently, I have my armband on him. Now, the debate is whether to back against Mo in his current form versus the Newcastle team, which he has a strong record versus them. I think he has like 6 or 7 returns in the last 2 fixtures that he played versus them. So his record is very, very good. Like, it's hard to go against Mo. Provisionally, I have it on Mo. I do think he's the safest pick. But the Southampton fixture for Palmer is really tempting. And same with Bowen, who's got Leicester at home. But I feel like going with Bowen, West Ham really don't score too many goals. I feel like just having him as an asset is differential enough. Putting the captaincy on him may be a stretch, and I might be asking for a lot of trouble, especially if I'm backing against Salah. I gotta have at least an asset that has a ceiling of 3 to 4 returns, and I just don't see that with Bowen. Maybe 1 or 2 at best, but Salah can easily match that. With Palmer, we have seen in the past he can get 3-4 returns. He's done it this season already a couple of times. Now it's not the same Palmer. He's not in the best of form. He's blanked, I think, 5 out of the last 7 games. And also Chelsea are in the downhill trend. But at the same time, Southampton are riddled with injuries. They're missing their CDM and their centre-backs. So they're really struggling as well. And Southampton is the fixture to target. However, Palmer and Chelsea are not not in the best of form. So it's a very tough call this week. I think it will be quite separate. All the Salahs in the best form. I feel like a lot of people will go for Palmer. I've seen the likes of Andy Raptor. They already said that they're going for Palmer. So it's a difficult one for me. I'd say if I had to pick right now, I'd go with Salah, just simply because of his form and the fact that he's playing at home. And Newcastle, as we've seen, they did concede like 12 goals in the last 4 games or something. So they are conceding a lot of goals. But this is one of the weeks where you could potentially go against Salah, but I'm sticking with him currently. But that could also change come the deadline tomorrow. I want to see if Enzo is fit for Chelsea because there's a bit of doubt around him. I feel like with Enzo, Palmer's ceiling does increase. Without him, he doesn't have his high ceiling. I'm sure he can return, but will he get 3-4 returns? I doubt that. So I'm going to wait for more information. But currently, if I had to pick one, it is Salah. So yeah. Moving on to the strikers, Mateta, Isak. And I know you guys are going to say, I'm benching the one man you should not be benching, which is the Sir Chris Wood. Mr. Consistent has returned in so many game weeks for me. But I just think, man, come on, man. Arsenal, they're a strong defense. The attack is not clicking, but the defense is still clicking. And I feel like, yes, Forest could score 1 or 2 goals and win that game. but the likelihood I think is quite low because Arsenal are obviously in the title charge, as they like to claim, of course. I mean, I don't know how valid their claim is, but still they're pretty decent team. So with Wood, I feel like will he score versus Arsenal? I think he can, of course. I mean, he's in the form of his life. But who do I bench here? My team is so strong. Maybe there's an argument to bench Clivert and start Wood, but Clivert, I mean, come on, he's got Brighton. They're not really that good defensively, are they? Like, who would you target, Brighton or would you target Arsenal for as an attacker? It's a very tough call. Look, come the deadline, maybe I bench Clivert. You never know. I might get a bit nervous, but playing a attacker versus your double defense seems a bit weird. I don't know. It's a tough call. But look, I made my mind. I'm going to bench Chris Wood. I just don't see me playing Chris Wood versus my two double Arsenal defense. Plus, he does have a lower ceiling. I think. I hope. Anyways, so yeah, that's how my team is looking. And last not least, obviously you got Isak with Liverpool away. I think Isak, we just saw versus Forest, he scored 2 goals, which is a tough fixture on paper. He can score versus anyone. We've seen him score versus the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, pretty much in all the top fixtures. So Isak, he can still score versus Liverpool. I'm not benching him. So yeah, currently my bench is Fabianski, Wood, Højsen, and Greaves. Bench is quite strong. Let's hope they don't punish me too much. But overall, pleased with the team. Let me know what you guys think on the comment section below. Who would you bench in this team? I know you guys wouldn't probably like bench of Chris Wood and probably me playing Nico Williams, but it is what it is. That's the decision I made currently. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to leave a comment below, smash the like button, subscribe, and I want to see you guys next week. Peace out.